Okay, this topic is a little bit controversial and it needs a lot of discussion down here on the comment section. It's about dating. And the question is it easier to date in America or is it easier to date in Africa? Which is harder? Either dating someone in Africa or dating someone in the US. Even if someone is African but is in the US, or dating someone you are African and you are in Africa, which is a little bit harder. So I'm having different opinions, but I will talk about man's experience, my experience, or many people I know, their experience in Africa, and also my experience, many experience here in America, for instance. How is it in general? Or Westerners over there. So, and then, like, I will not be a very good one. I will try to balance and show what is the women's perspective about dating. Also the same question, dating African in Africa versus the same woman if it's dating African here in the US. For instance, what is going to change? I will not be able to cover in detail because I'm not a woman in that situation, but I will try to see on both sides. Okay, so let's start. Okay. For me, in my opinion, it is very, very hard, or sometimes harder, to date someone while you live in Africa. The reason being, on both sides, it's harder. The reason being, there are so many cultural values and expectations which make a little bit difficulties. And if you do things out of those norms, people look like it's strange. Yeah, why are you doing this one? Are you okay? Are you normal? Whatever. So sometimes there are so many expectations and rules and regulations which a little bit make it a little bit harder. For instance, a man is expected to lie, is expected to make fake promises, and the woman has to accept those fake promises. No man going to a woman wants to date that woman and say, oh, just want to have fun with you, to know you, let's have fun, whatever. After 2-3 years, then everyone will continue their own life. You have to say, yes, I'm planning to marry you. On day one, I love you and I'm planning to get married to you. Please, I want to be with you. That a woman will accept. Or whatever you want to say, yes or no, but that is something else. But if you go there without giving that fake promise like politicians, no one will accept. But the truth, they know you are not going to marry them, but you have to give the fake promise like a politician. You have to lie. So that is not good. That's number one. So both parts, they expect someone to come with that kind of a lie. So even if you know for sure I'm not going to marry this person, you have to lie, I'm going to marry you. And after 1 year, then everybody continues, life continues, comes another person, you do another lie, yeah, I'm going to marry you. So one guy can promise 10 girls in the span of 5 years, he's going to marry them. And he can give you a ring and then take it away, whatever it is. So that is one thing which is harder. Vis-a-vis here, there is a difference between like and love. That's one. And you cannot say the first day, I love you, I want to marry you. Are you out of your mind? You just saw me like 1 week ago, 1 month ago. You cannot do that. So if you want to have just a relationship with someone, it's, we'll see if things will take, if things go well, we can see down the road, maybe after 2 years, if things go well, then you can get married. But you cannot say those promises at the beginning. So that is one part. So I don't know whether, for me, that is easier. I don't have, as a man, I don't have too much pressure. That's one. And I don't want to, if things don't work out, I don't feel that I gave you a promise because I didn't promise you I'll get married to you. So that is one part. Another part is about the issue of money. Is expected that a man will be the one giving money to a woman. You go out to eat, a man has to pay. You want to come to visit my house, I have to pay even for the Uber or bus or tax, whatever. I have to pay or give the money, whatever. That is expected that way. And sometimes if a woman doesn't, there are few I know, they don't like to do that. You don't give, but majority of them, if you don't give the money, they mean that you don't love them. But there are some, they are okay, you go out, you just split the bill, which is good, like there is no too much expectation. Because if someone pays the entire bill, technically, even if you say a stupid thing, you have to laugh, you have to agree because someone paid it for the meal. So you is taking away someone's independence. Even like if I go out with let's say, I'm giving an example, we go out with like friends, but one friend is the only one every time is going to pay. Obviously, that friend, even if he's not thinking, is bringing the stupid reason. Like, for instance, let's say, is he saying a certain soccer players who is even in second division is better than Messi or Ronaldo, you have I think you have a point because he's paying for the meal. No. So sometimes that is harder because you have to find the money to pay someone. And again, that person is forced to even to pretend he likes you or pretend to like you as what you are saying, which even if it's not true. So it's just everything is about money. But here, that is not a lot, especially when you go out, everyone is expected to pay. Even if you pay, someone accepts it, someone will pay tip, someone will pay bill, or you can split the bill. It helps to have a balance of opinion and the things of that nature, someone not to be too much dependent. And that goes even when you want to get married. Because you are going to live together, obviously, you don't need to have a house, you don't need to have an apartment, you have to have everything so that you can get married. You can get married, both of you have nothing, you can find the apartment, you can start working together, and things of that nature. So there is not too much pressure on that side. I must have this kind of money, I must have a car, I must have this, I must have this. Yes, they play part, but it's not like too much pressure on the side of Africa. But it's also like pressure to a woman too. If a guy gives you the money and you don't accept, okay, is not too much money, doesn't love me, doesn't do whatever. So a woman is also like put in a difficult situation to accept even things if she doesn't want. So it's pressure on both sides, especially but for a woman it's too much pressure. So a man sees that I pay more money, like I'm taking care of my woman, but you forget that you are taking someone's free will, someone's freedom to think and give honest opinion and love you forever you are, not because you have all those money. So, and if someone doesn't like you, I see some of the cases, some people commit suicide, for instance, when it happens, someone is helping a woman to go to school and the woman changes the mind, I'm not marrying you. Oh, that's why they say you cannot pay for school fees of fiancé, because you were expecting to pay money, someone can just accept everything you do, even if it's a stupid thing. No. That is another thing. Another thing is, especially this is for more on women, when it happens when you go out, let's say you want to go to a restaurant to eat, is bringing a lot of like 5 friends, and when the friends come, they start ordering most expensive meal in the menu. Okay. You do not know how much money I have in my pocket. So that is, I don't know, they want to test your financial capability and your behavior of money. I don't know. But that is too much. If you come on debt, you come with your friends, everyone has to cover their bill. And that's why there is one quote, I don't know, those they put about Mugabe said so and so. Yeah, Mugabe said just everyone order and then just disappear or just date their friend, like pay attention to their friend instead of them. They will never bring their friend again. So it's unnecessary, too much unnecessary things. So those are the things, like sometimes it's difficulty to put it that way. But another thing is women are supposed to behave in such a way to look like they are coming from a very poor family, hardworking. So we treat a woman to be married to have a family with must be cooking, must be able to do cleaning, washing dishes, those kind of things. Those are the one defining a wife. No. You don't marry someone because he knows how to cook. You can have maid, you can buy food in the restaurant if you want. You can buy a machine for washing machine and the drying machine. Someone cleaning, it's easy, you can clean yourself. Just buy the vacuum and clean. What is the problem? Put dishwasher, buy there, wash your dishes. What is the big deal about those things? The technology has changed, so we have to change on the defining why I marry this woman. You don't marry this woman because knows how to cook very well. No. Then go and marry someone who is a chef then, if you want to do that. And sometimes we put women in such a way that they must come from a very hard life, as if we are looking for a freedom fighter. We are not looking for a freedom fighter. Like, if someone knows, like, grow up in a very hard, difficult life, this is a wife material. A wife material must have this kind of hard life so that can be able to make this kind of choice, knows how to stay hungry overnight. No. You are a man, you are a woman. Both of you can just find a way to get food. So don't put too much expectation to someone to be living under, like, you must pretend like you grew up in a very difficult life so that they can see this is a qualification of being wife material. There's no wife material in terms of being, like, living hard life as if you were a freedom fighter in the forest. No. So let's reduce the responsibility of the wife. There are job description, you can have a maid. There are job description, can be a woman. That's why sometimes you have these cases of a person having relationship with the maid, because we assume if you wash dishes, you clean, your wife. No. You can have a maid. You can have a houseboy helping you with that. That is not your wife. A wife has a special place in your heart, has a special responsibilities of raising a family together, making love together, all those things together. So let's make the distinction between the two. So when you go to date and get married, you have to know all those things. And let a woman be free so that they can truly either love you or not love you, and not just pretend to give all too much money and whatever. That is the definition. Some people, they don't want that. Sometimes it's better to talk together and make sure that you have that kind of definition. So sometimes it's harder on that side, especially in Africa. Here, we don't expect someone to know how to cook. When I'm going to marry, I don't ask my wife, do you know how to wash clothing? I know there is a laundry machine. I don't ask, when I was dating my wife, I mean, we met, like, I didn't ask the question, do you know how to cook? I didn't ask a question, do you know how to wash dishes? I know I'll put on the machine work and wash the dishes. So those are the things, like, we have to a little bit think as men, but also as women, both in Africa. And another challenge is men, they make hard life for women. Some women, they're just dating, but a man is acting that they just, like, beat a girlfriend. They end up, like, when they come with like a bag of my bag from work, you have to come there and kneel down, like this kind of, like, you have to be wife material like that. You have to behave like you are more than you are respecting your father. It is too much. So wife has to pretend so many things so that it can get that engagement ring and get marriage, whatever certificate to prove that is married. So it's harder for women. And especially when a man is about to get married or is getting married, is making harder dating, and the love relationship becomes there. A man cannot even, like, try, even there is some people, not all, but some of the people, especially now, which is sad, you find someone who cannot even take dishes on the table. You ate your dishes, you are a grown-up person, take in the sink. But we want, my wife, my fiancé has to do this one. No. There are things like those when we give hard time. It's not about, okay, if I help to cook or buy something from the supermarket or whatever, if I buy tomatoes, I must be a woman to do that. No. There are certain things there a little bit to make harder for women than men sometimes. So those are the things we have to see, like, it's harder. Another thing is about dating and going towards the marriage part, like the marriage itself, preparation and everything. There are too much expectation from both families. I understand about the culture is a communal and all other things, but there is too much pressure. It ends to make sure that people are using millions of money. Someone, like, they have like $30,000 US Just you have to go to the neighbor, you have to go to the friend, you study someone in primary school you have never met for 10, 15 years, has to come to collect the money contribution for the wedding. For what? Just do wedding based on your budget. It's simple. You are marrying a person. I'm not going to help you to marry someone. If I come to the wedding, I can just bring the gift if I want. But don't force me to pay for your wedding. So it's too much pressure. And after getting married, okay, when are you going to have the baby? Why it has passed this time not to have a baby? So we have too much pressure, outside the pressure, for people to behave a certain way. So that is a challenge for both sides, and especially for women. If it passes a year you are not pregnant, it's very tough. But sometimes problem can be a man cannot be having possibility of impregnating a woman, but it ends to be everything is about a woman. So those are the challenges in like dating. Sometimes in Africa is like another complicated way. But if you find someone understanding you talk, this expectation, you reduce the pressure on both sides. That's what I'm advising. Like even here, there are too much pressure sometimes, yes. But advantage here, people can tell you, no, I'm not going to do this because 1, 2, 3. We are not here. There is no like going to the neighbor, to friend, like contributing for me for my wedding. There is no such a thing. If your budget is 1,000, do the wedding of 1,000. Simple like that. People don't expect you have to invite 300 people and do a very big wedding and tomorrow you don't have any money. So those are some of the things like I want, like, okay, which one is, for me, in my opinion, is just overall, it is, I didn't have too much pressure. I was not pressured a lot dating someone in the US. And on the woman's side, I didn't give any pressure because I don't need to give the money. I don't need to do this to get this kind of results. And they don't expect me. They know for sure, obviously, as a husband or a boyfriend, you help to clean, you eat from there, you take a thing in the sink, put in the dishwasher. So it was easier. You can discuss these things. But as long as you discuss, it becomes easier. So though I say overall here, for me, in my experience, it's a little bit easier. But in the end, what makes easier is communication. It doesn't matter whether you're in the US, dating African in the US, or dating American in the US, or living in Africa, dating African while you're in Africa. Because if you are here, whether you're husband and wife, both are Tanzanian, both are Kenyan, both are Ugandans, you are here, a husband has to help to clean the diaper of the baby. A husband will be able to wash dishes. A husband will be able to cook certain food. A husband will be able to go to the supermarket to bring some food because it's part of the life here. And people talk about that. Can you help me with this one? But if we do certain things, I don't say we have to copy everything from here and paste there. But there are certain things you can reduce unnecessary pressure for both sides, either for women or for men. So what's your opinion on that? As a man, are you feel you are pressured to get married, to lie, to spend so much money so that a woman can love you? And a woman, do you think you have to love someone because he's giving you a lot of gifts, giving you a ride or something like that? Or because he's paying for the meal, you feel that even if you have money, if you say, I'll pay for your meal today, the husband or the boyfriend will feel disrespectful. And if you say, no, I'm not going, I'm using my money, how the husband or boyfriend is going to, especially for boyfriend or for your fiance, how is he going to respond to that? Are you feeling also pressured? So share your comment here. Let's continue this discussion and see how it goes about. I don't have the answer, but it's a big challenge on both sides, I can say. But communication is the key of everything in love, relationship, marriage. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'm not a love expert, just sharing. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.